Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I like to rig up for crappie and bluegill slip float fishing. So here's a few things I got laid out you're going to want to have. A little bobber stop, little tiny bead, can't stress this enough, a small float. That's like, there's my thumb, there's the float. Small split shot, and a small hook. Thin wire, I think that's a Eagle Claw Aberdeen light wire hook. Alright, so get started here. Have our line. This is just 6-pound test monofilament. What you're gonna do is run your line through this little straw, just like so. And then what you do, you pull the line off the straw, take the straw away, don't need it anymore. And you're just kind of gonna pull these apart, right? These two tag ends on your line. As you see it starts cinching down, you want to wet that knot pretty good, otherwise it'll burn your line and potentially snap it at some point if you're using real light line. Like this is only 6 pounds, so wet the knot good, that's what I'm saying. All right, and then cinch it down. Don't make it too tight, but give it a little pull. And then slide. And just get your line out of the way so you can trim up your tag ends here. You'll just need pliers or scissors, whatever you got. And I'm going to trim that off pretty short. About as short as I can get it. About like that. That's like 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 to a 1/16. Pretty short. Just be careful not to cut your other line while you're doing this. Your main line. There we go. Right, you're not gonna need those tag ends. So there's your bobber stop. And a lot of people will say, oh, it'll burn the line and stuff, and that's true, it will at some point. But if you'll just do that, wet your line before you move it, it'll slide up and down a lot easier. So say I want to fish 10-15 feet, I would just and then slide it, and you'll notice it slides a lot easier. All right, next step. So I got bobber stop on there. Put the bead on, just a real little tiny bead, doesn't matter where you get it from. A lot of bobber stops come with beads. That's what I'm using in this case. All right, I slid that up the line. Got our bead and our bobber stop there. Next, we're gonna slide this little float on. I like a real small float for crappie and bluegill. No resistance. Something easy to see, nice and bright, but it's real little. Slide that up the line. Next thing, I like a small hook as well. This is Eagle Claw Aberdeen light wire hook. And I'll show you a little trick I do with it that I think makes quite a difference. Right, cinch that down. That's just kind of a quick tutorial here, right? I like to trim the tag end off that. All right. And these hooks, when you buy them, they are pretty narrow, right? Let me get that in frame for you. So I like to bend them out a little bit. I'll take it. I'll just grab right under the barb, hold the main end, and just kind of pull it out a little bit. That way my shank is slightly open. There's a little openness to it there. All right. Hopefully that helped. And that'll just help you get better hookup on a fish. Like more oftentimes you will hook up on the fish. They won't be able to spit the hook. All right, then the split shot. I only go about that far. Maybe this is for a shallow rig, right? So I'm fishing for shallow water crappie. So I don't put my split shot too far away from my hook, maybe 6 inches. If I was fishing deep, I would make that leader, 8 to 12 inches. But they're pretty shallow right now, so I'm just gonna make it about 6 inches. And I just take it around that twice, that way it doesn't slide up my line. Crimp it on lightly. Don't want to squeeze too much, otherwise you risk cutting your line. All right, and there's our setup. So we have, again, we got that little Aberdeen hook, split shot, small float, bead, and it's gonna slide up to that bobber stop. All right, hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Be glad to answer them. This is a rig I like to use for crappie and bluegill. Shallow is a good shallow water rig. I typically will tip that with a minnow hooked through both lips or just the top lip. Sometimes I like to go both lips. They stay on a little better than just the top sometimes. So, especially fishing shallow water, I don't need the minnow to live for super long. Usually the bite is pretty quick if you're getting them shallow water during the spawn. So, and then for bluegill, a lot of times what I'll use is redworms, night crawlers, or bee moth tipped on that little hook. Very versatile setup, catch everything you want to catch just about in the panfish world. So hopefully that helps, guys.